and to do so, they approached the lion, king of the jungle. Before reaching the clearing in the forest where the lion was sitting on his throne, the donkey started screaming.
"Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?"
The lion replied.
True, the grass is blue.
The donkey rushed forward and continued.
"The tiger disagrees with me, contradicts me, and annoys me. Please punish him."
The king then declared.
The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence.
The donkey jumped for joy and went on his way, content and repeating,
"The grass is blue, the grass is blue, the grass is blue."
The tiger accepted his punishment, but he asked the lion,
"Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green."
The lion replied.
In fact, the grass is green.
The tiger asked.
"So why do you punish me?"
The lion replied.
That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because a brave, intelligent creature like you can't waste time arguing with a donkey, and on top of that, come and bother me with that question?
So what have we learned from this story? The worst waste of time is arguing with a fool and fanatic who doesn't care about the truth or reality, but only the victory of their beliefs and illusions. Never waste time on discussions that make no sense. For all the evidence presented to them, some people do not have the ability to understand, and others are blinded by ego, hatred, and resentment. And the only thing that they want is to be right, even if they aren't. When ignorance screams, intelligence shuts up. Your peace and tranquility are worth more. Sairam. The donkey told the tiger.
"The grass is blue."
The tiger replied.
"No, the grass is green."
The discussion became heated up, and the two decided to submit the issue to arbitration. And to do so, they approached the lion, king of the jungle. Before reaching the clearing in the forest where the lion was sitting on his throne, the donkey started screaming.
"Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?"
The lion replied.
True, the grass is blue.
The donkey rushed forward and continued.
"The tiger disagrees with me, contradicts me, and annoys me. Please punish him."
The king then declared.
The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence.
The donkey jumped for joy and went on his way, content and repeating,
"The grass is blue, the grass is blue, the grass is blue."
The tiger accepted his punishment, but he asked the lion.
"Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green."
The lion replied.
In fact, the grass is green.
The tiger asked.
"So why do you punish me?"
The lion replied.
That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because a brave, intelligent creature like you can't waste time arguing with a donkey, and on top of that, come and bother me with that question?
So what have we learned from this story? The worst waste of time is arguing with a fool and fanatic who doesn't care about the truth or reality, but only the victory of their beliefs and illusions. Never waste time on discussions that make no sense. For all the evidence presented to them, some people do not have the ability to understand, and others are blinded by ego, hatred, and resentment. And the only thing that they want is to be right, even if they aren't. When ignorance screams, intelligence shuts up. Your peace and tranquility are worth more. Sairam.
I'm not picking burn on without music and nothing. What kind of picking that is? They might burn on slide way. What's up? If I go, man, but you buy, we'll take, we'll, we'll take that, we'll take that drone from you. That drone we gave you, giving you problem. If I don't welcome our folks, let me just send it. Look at Mo Ali in the back. Mo Ali done change the location. Oh. Mo, what's up?
Not bad. I'm in transit.
We're not hearing you, Mo.
I say I'm okay. I'm in
Mo
transit.
say yeah. Mo, you don't have to have an internet problem, my man. You're in America now, but change that behavior.
Yeah, one internet problem.
Mo, if I go wrong, your man.
Hello. Hello. Ah, but my mic is good.
I mean, Mo, you adding a stingray. You better talk.
You getting me?
Hello, hello, hello. All right, the man will come back. He will come back. So, Fagon, let's talk, man. At the end of the day, I'm not hearing you, my man. Fagon. 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 Can you hear me? Fagon.
I can hear Fagon. He's muted.
Mo, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting you.
I can hear you too, Mo. Fagon, can you hear us?
I can hear Fagon.
But then you got to log out and log back in. You got to be speaking Bobo sound.
Fagon, log out and log back in.
It's simple, man. Every day you buy people hacking you, Fagon. Why they can't hack you at? Hold on, let me call the man on my cell phone. So Fagon, this is what you need to do. Log out and log back in. Let's try it. This is StreamYard. It's not about demo. Thank you. So now I'm waiting for Mo Ali. I'm waiting for Fagon. I'm waiting for everyone to come and join the show tonight. We will be discussing issue concerning the Spoon Network. We will tell you how far we have come. We'll talk about our usual politics. The entire team will be joining us. Reverend Gray, Mame, Fadika, Mo Ali, Eugene Lamin Fagon. It is why it is, and we will be bringing you updates on the current national issue. Okay, this is Facebook. It is why it is. We have to discuss. And don't forget, tonight we'll also be having our program tonight. Our program tonight, we will be discussing Solomon George. We will do everything we can to have things restored accordingly. Fagon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Let's wait on Mo Ali. He's coming back. Fagon, I'm kind of... What's going on with your... Are we on the camera or you on your laptop? Why did something so small like that? We're not hearing you. You muted yourself again. Why are you muting yourself?
I left for my plate to be small because I want no left side, right side building.
But,
Now I can make other people get cross.
I mean, that's something you hide in, my man.
Let me tell you something.
Please
you notice
do.
I can look straight in the camera when I'm talking to you.
That's not the point. You're hiding something, my man.
When you turn your camera like this, when you turn your stuff like this, then your camera can go left side. That's why you see all the guys can be talking like this, and they're not looking straight in the camera.
That's not the point. You're hiding something, Fagon. Fagon, are you playing music?
They begin I can play that Tajay song. That they play
That
the
who play
song.
music? Diamond, are you playing music?
And that time, man, the music they're playing because the music let up.
Yeah, man, tell nothing. Oh man, I die you. But folks, on a very serious note, we
Yeah,
got
cause
we
it
are
out.
we there are more ideas in the house. We are yet to discuss issue about national concern. It is important that you understand. We know, as you know, the court system, uh, closed down Spoon. You have the story out there. You know how the story goes. Legally, I would not be discussing it fully because it's in the code of law. But we do understand that we are on course legally. So we'll be coming to you by this means through Facebook, YouTube, on Spoon Talk. We'll be coming to you by this means. It shall be well, it will be fine, and we will have our program as usual. Thank you for joining us. We will tell you what we can tell you. Woke up this morning, trust me, and we heard the news just how you heard the news. This is Liberia. We'll continue to fight. We'll continue to push. We'll continue to make the case for our people. Our people want people. For you, your radio station, you can assure your radio station will be back on the air pretty soon. Your network, the Spoon Network, will be back on the air pretty soon. I know you want to hear us on the radio, you will. Our country is a country of law. Our country have a constitution, and we will be law-abiding entity. Okay? Fagon, come from where you are and talk to us on the prevailing situation, if you can, because we'll go into it. But talk to us, Fagon. How you feeling? How were you? I saw your program today, and it was very massive.
Let me say for me, you are part of the case. The station is part of the case. So maybe you will be limited in talking about the case, but I am not limited. I have my opinion and I am entitled to it by law. And nobody, absolutely nobody can, according to law, trample upon my opinion, not even you. So I think we have three separate branches of government. The government of Liberia will want you to believe that we have three separate branches of government and that the judiciary acted in keeping with law. And so therefore, they want you to believe that the judiciary acted in keeping with law. And so therefore, they issued a statement. Have you seen the statement the government issued? Now they begin to tell you for now.
No, nobody take me off. I had to mute myself because we were having a bad feedback, and that's what I said. We will definitely go into it, and I just want you to do your intro as we wait for the orders. I want everybody to come on.
For me, I want to put my intro.
Okay, but then let's just talk Tabata now. Let's just talk Tabata.
Because my intro is desperate.
Who laughing? Who are you laughing?
But the way you say, "Man, you thought about that before."
Yeah, let's talk Tabata. Don't make it give me hard time, man. Let's talk something. But listen, folks. In the news today in Liberia, I am shocked. Mo Ali, did you hear this one in Liberia today?
Which one?
Our expectation that the government brought in technical Israelis group. No. Something serious is happening with this government. And I hope everyone should open their ears and listen very well. These are very serious times in our country. As we move towards election, I want to encourage everyone. We have to be very, very mindful as to our in and out. Something serious is happening. And I do believe, with all seriousness and fairness, I do believe the president of Liberia have come to some conclusion that this election is done for him. I do believe those folks that surround themselves and surround the president have come to the conclusion that this election is done. No matter where you are, who you may be, you got to understand this election is a defining moment in your life. You either bring in George Manawia and re-elect him, or you bring in Joseph Yema Boakai and you elect him as president of the Republic of Liberia, because it's a two-horse race. Joseph Yema Boakai or George Manawia, and we'll discuss it. I received some information which is damning, which is scary, which is terrible, and we will be discussing it accordingly. Okay? Let me say this to every one of you. We are here. We still talk like spoon. And we still make the case like spoon. We will open our phone line, people will call. The legal people will discuss the legal thing. The lawyers then will address the lawyer thing. The suppression of freedom of the press, the suppression of free expression, that will be discussed. But I will remain with the issue and I will speak to the issue because this is the best thing I can do for our country, Liberia. Mo Ali, your intro, please.
You know, you didn't say that you didn't want to say we should be talking Tabata, but you know,
Let's talk Tabata, yeah.
This.
But which one we talking now? The Tabata here or the real team?
No, I just watched the real thing because I see Mo Ali coming in.
Because my opening will be desperate. The whole nation will shake and crumble at my opening. So if we're talking Tabata, let's talk Tabata.
But
I think one example of Tabata.
Time a fast spin, we're going like 38 minutes.
The man talk Tabata line, they say, I can't was saying I eat a bagger. I can't be stand on with KBO. Stand on, why you can't pray and say,
but we're having a show tonight. We're having another late night program tonight.
You know,
people be complaining about your late night program. They say the late night program is too bad.
What make it too bad again? What make it bad?
I mean, like,
crying, my man.
It where the zeal that can be in it. You know, people don't really.
They learn that program more. The people can talk. That's why I don't want no guests. It's for the Liberian people to speak. They learn that program. It's for the people themselves. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Yo, you change your laptop? Okay.
Yeah.
But listen, they learn that program not for me, Fagon. It's for the people. I want to hear from the people. So anything people say that a business, we want to engage them. We want to hear from them. We want to hear their own problem, their own cries and supplication. We want the world to hear Liberians speaking. And that's why the later program will be why it is. I mean, listen, Fagon, don't talk the meeting yet. Talk Tabata, please. Just Tabata.
Because my opening will shock the whole country. But anyway, let me tell you about the Tabata you're talking. I mean, to be frank, you saw how I came on late last night. Do you know that most of the people that the late night they can be waiting for? Because the time we can count on between 8, 9, 10, some of their friends, they can be around drinking, so they got to pretend. But when they're in a room by themselves with their wife then, oh, they said the woman called her husband here, said the next time you touch your phone again, for her to go up, I'll do something to you. Oh, the guy said he rubbed the plate and he said, but man, the phone, I was holding it in my hand, was tired. He said, no, then you tell me.
You can touch it. Let that on spoon. It's powerful. We'll be discussing district number 7, Solomon George, tonight on the late night program.
Oh,
we want to bring to you who is Solomon George. We want to ask you a few questions about him. Then you can make your phone call as to should he be re-elected.
Solomon George, I'm my first cousin now. The man flagging. Look how he ran away from Solomon George so quick. And more Solomon George, he can't man running. Solomon Joy kind of man running.
When Solomon George feeling letting that one, he will not believe it. Solomon George can't take that. And I see the man causing hands on. So that your midnight politics, if you it was Solomon George, don't join on behind him. Eugene, you are muted.
If he ever him or leave because you can't also
He was Solomon George can cause so.
he will let you.
That guy can cause. I trust him when it comes to causing.
He barely Solomon Joy. He saw at least Solomon Joy for way in the middle or last minute time.
So Logan takes out.
So that, but even Joe, we are the middle of with Joe, we are in course, Joe, we are good.
And I'll call Joe. Yeah, right in front of Joe. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, saying know what to do.
But what did Joe do? When a man enter the fence, they say, Solomon Jordan can't Joe. I can say, don't let me come inside, don't let me come inside. After about 5-10 minutes, then Solo stay outside and let he can hear it. So can stand right outside. You can do it out of it. You can hear me. It's not that. You can hear me. You hear me. You hear
me. the guy rule what? What kind of old man?
And the thing about you can't use force to manhandle the man. The man I represented. Then you can make people say, even if I'm not represented, I can't. Do you want it? You can be looking at it. EPL. Do you want it? Look at it. They're hungry.
Grace Solo. Instead of talking about the man today.
Yeah, I wish that if when the man say he put more on Solo, I will call Solo, then we'll bring Solo on live.
But now I want to bring Solo on live. Listen, the last time we talked about you see money, you take out trouser, right? You remember the story? When the lawmaker then collect the late team, but Samuel to get in Huawei. Samuel Joe was mad. He and district number 4, what's the lady named Swakoko? They were very mad. So then what happened? Samuel just cause. Listen, the man are crew man. The pepper both of us. That causing Solomon George will call here. But the people must understand who Solomon George is. I'm getting mixed signal though. People are saying Solomon George can win that district. You know who running against Solomon George?
That one guy with radio station.
No, Wade Power. Wade Power is running to assist Solomon George.
No, the main contender, listen, the main contender to Solomon George is Emmanuel Dan.
I understand, but Wade Power says she's the main contender.
Hey, but I'm not telling you about what Wade Power says. I'm telling you about the reality on the ground. Emmanuel Dan has been doing well. He contested in 2017. He runs a radio station. He has a health program, an ambulance that conveys people, save people to hospitals and everything. He's been doing very well over there. He's the main challenger to Solomon George.
But Stanton know the power of media?
Yeah, but I understand. But let me ask you though, are you saying that Wade Power you would not consider her a main contender?
I will not even consider her a contender.
Oh yeah?
She's not even a contender, at least to talk about me.
No, man, no, my man. But I respect Wade. I think Wade is putting something here.
Myself.
I think Wade would be the dark horse though.
Myself respect her. But Emmanuel Dan is.
I have respect for her too, but the shift in the political arena right now has affected her. Which side is Wade Power running on right now?
Wade is not. I learned that. No. I learned that Wade is not running on a CPP ticket. She's not. She's running as an independent.
That's what I'm saying.
But why is she running as independent? I thought she's the treasurer for Liberty or
for CPP.
That's what I learned. Maybe it's a mistake, but I learned that Wade running as an independent.
As an independent. Here is the problem she faced. Independent CPP. The shift in the political arena for CPP is what crippled Wade Power. Wadi Power was looking at 4 parties supporting her. Then it came down to 2, which is Liberty Party and the ANC. But the Liberty Party split. Yombi took the people, Perete took the people. Now you have sat down here and you have made ANC very unpopular. So where is Wadi Power now in the
But why
game?
you be putting that thing on me? I alone can do the show. Who from there, man?
You are
No, I didn't hear the
with
man.
this thing.
The man said now and say I'll make. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I got Comi's house. I got Comi's house picture. I know the location. It's a rooftop. They put a zinc on there, but windows. I will show the picture. I will send it to the beginning. I will show it. Mr. Comi's house is beautiful. It's like 2-3 stories level. I think it's 2. I'm going to send you guys the picture. They put roof, everything, zinc, everything. They're fixing the windows. I think the house can be completed before election. It's right in on Marshall Highway to the town they call Gono, Gono, Gono town. Around Gono town. You know that town?
Marshall Highway. I thought you were talking about a house in Harper.
No. Man, got nothing in Harper, man.
That Cummins does not have a house.
Cummins never owned a house in Liberia, but he just built one right now. He's building one. It's not completed yet. So that was the full
what's
argument.
about the place on 15th Street where he resides? Who is it for? I heard
that's not Cummins house. That's not Cummins house. It's a corporation entity. That's not Cummins house.
No, I heard
we discussed that story. I get a document here. That's not Cummins house. That's not Cummins house.
I thought they say it's Mr. Cummins' property, so I thought.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
The argument you'll be having all the time, I thought it was Mr. Cummins does not have a house in Maryland.
No, he never owned the Cummins property in Liberia. No. I will say this. We gotta have the document in my phone. The document for that property you talking about, what Mr. Cummins?
Okay, let's put that one side. There is a new presidential candidate. They call him Alan Brown.
Oh Lord.
Alan Brown, you know the story. This was one of Madame Salih's biggest backers. I know he and we all campaigned together 2005, I think 2011. And suddenly, I think 2 or 3 days ago, I saw the man post up.
With the pastor.
Yeah, he carrying one lady. I think, yeah, you're right. I saw the stuff today.
Pastor, man, don't let me send you the picture. You know me, I quick. But zoom all over the place.
Yeah, put that picture up. Alvin Brown, yeah, that's Alvin Brown. Jobs for all, resources for all, jobs for all, Liberia for all. Oh, the man running on LRP TKO.
That mean LRP ran before?
Let me check it up. But you know what, Eugene? I brought this thing
But
up.
do you know what the man say he want to?
What you want to
do? That thing I reading all that Tabata. Go in the chat room, go read the one I put there for my June. That's the one you should be fighting for. Go read it. That boy, you reading it before you say this and now. Go read it.
Mr. Brown, I'm just okay. Meet Liberia Restoration Party presidential candidate Allen Roosevelt Brown Jr. and vice presidential candidate Pastor Nivel Janet Weah. According to Mr. Brown, he is running to return Liberia to a Christian state.
Don't cuss.
Oh, man, it's a Christian, but don't do that, bad. Don't do that. Hold your peace on that one.
He is running to return Liberia to a Christian state by using the trenches of politics. Quote, we are a movement, and our movement is to restore the nation to God. I am so happy that the vehicle that we are using is politics, unquote. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Just as my June, it is very, very effective. Don't play from my June.
Mr. Brown, welcome to the race.
Ellie's son, bro.
But how many people Ellen will put in the race now?
How many of them?
Hey, man, Stanton, just for my Ellen say you want to enter the race against John, where you're your own.
Plenty. So the
I don't understand. How many people will get in this race? How many?
Okay.
So let me tell you the logic, Stanton. They have largely accepted that Joe Boakai could win in the first round. So the strategy there is crowd the political field, crowd the presidential race. That will make them to force the election to a second round. And if there is a second round between Josh Weah and Omer Boakai, then most of these are 0.001% presidential candidate will come out to say, I declare support, I endorse President Weah, I declare support for President Weah. Then now they will be saying, oh, the man has received more endorsement from presidential candidates than JMB. Therefore, he will win. That is the strategy. Nothing more, nothing less. Have you ever heard Allen Brown name before in our country? Stanton.
Well, yesterday I heard Allen Brown name yesterday.
Great. You've never heard a name before anywhere near politics thing, right?
I heard Allen Brown name. This guy, what's her name? What's her name? This guy, Mampa was talking about Allen Brown.
Yeah, I mean before yesterday now.
No, I have not.
Any conversation. Raul France, what do you need? Raul France, what in? The other presidential candidate who appear here, the other there.
Raul France Morris.
Yeah. He internet was giving problem like our own. You ever heard anywhere around politics? No. And all these are all people who work with Madame Salif. Somehow, some way in our administration. So let's just crowd the field. Then tomorrow, person come out and say, yeah, I endorse. Where Allen Brown coming from? Only we who work with Allen Brown during the campaign period know about him. So this presidency thing, somebody can just jump up from their sleep. One night you say, yeah, I dreamed last night. God
but my thing is that what happened if anybody want to get in the race? I don't see it to be a problem though. You want to get in the race, get in the race. Madam said he can bring anybody. Everyone. Why are you muting yourself, man? You giving us hard time.
I'm trying to hustle. I won't call my Ellie so that I can get in the race. What problem? You won't be.
But don't call my Ellie. You that dead the old man that you won't call. You think she will listen to you?
That my auntie. You know about my auntie? We're from Bomi.
I ain't even going there, bro.
Right now, my auntie is right now in Jelejua.
I ain't even going there, bro.
We can't go there. That my auntie. I'm trying to hustle, my man. See what I can get in the race.
Go ahead, do your hustle.
Let's start to discuss serious issue.
No, so Fadiga begging, he said, hold on small, he just got home, you won't come on. The other folks that got to join, you know, Dr. Richardson hosting her Bombing County people, her Bombers group. Yesterday was her husband's birthday, she was off. Today, she asked to be off because this Beaumont people are having a program today, which is Friday. Tomorrow, Saturday is the big program. I'm invited to that program here in New Jersey, and they want to collect a lot of money. But it is why it is. Guess how much for the ticket?
How much?
250 United States dollars for the ticket. And, you know, and they asked Fagon to pay because, you know, Fagon from that area. Fagon, are you
I beg
paying?
you, Bomb is different from Bomb. I know your country, I'm begging you.
But man, they said Bomba. They say they asked you to pay, my man.
I talk Francine from Bomb. Me and her now on our level. But if I get my 250, I'll go put it there so they can carry the Cummins for Airbnb.
Like on your wish cry. But let's have a wonderful show, guys. I know this is something that you guys want to bring up. I will give you guys the time to discuss it. And then we will try to, don't forget, folks, we'll be back tonight on the Late Night Politics on Spoon. It will be you and me. We'll be taking your phone calls and discussing Solomon George and other national issue. If Solomon George want to call us, he can call us like everybody else, no problem. But he must be discussed and will be discussed.
Let you.
This is Late Night Politics on Spoon. Okay, 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Liberian time, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern United States time. You can find us on all of our social media outlets. We will be doing that, which is right, to discuss the national issue. Again, we want to say thank you for standing by Spoon. We'll be discussing what happened today at the network. I was asleep folks calling me like crazy, and I can only discuss that which I can discuss. The rest of it, we will have to leave it with the legal team as they prepare themselves to get the station back on. All right. So thank you very much. We move on, and we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful show today. Fagon, you come in first before we go to we turn this thing over to Mo Ali. Fagon, talk to us.
So you want me to open up?
Yeah, do your intro now. Officially, we're starting the program.
All right, very good. Want you to lay your business for start things that you able to hold. And you know fully well when I start. But anyway, Stanton, I like your spirit. And Mo Ali, I must admit, I like your spirit also. And all the guys that are coming on, I want to say to all of them and the Liberian people, our spirit is not broken. We're not even moved. As you can see, thousands of people are still watching us around the world. And that's why we're here. Having said that, this is my opening. When I saw the rate of attachment today, I went strictly for the definition. Yesterday, one of my colleagues said, you need to start reading law. You can't just read a law and interpret it away. You got to go to law school. And the reason why I didn't respond then, as I am not responding now, is because the jury then they can select to go sit down in the courtroom to decide the fate of somebody, whether they will die or live. They've been to law school. They even know the law, but they're the ones sitting there to determine whether somebody will die or live. Let alone somebody like me who I finished ABC. I can read A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So I'm trying to say to you, Stanton, it's the same way we brought the issue up of the law. According to the criminal procedure law, again, I'm giving a reference. I'm going to put it in the chat room. 7, the subchapter, and that is grounds for attachment, rate of attachment. Again, it says grounds for attachment. And that is the rate of attachment we saw at the top of the paper, rate of attachment. An order of attachment may, M-A-Y, may be granted in any action where the plaintiff has demanded and where there is reasonable ground for believing that he would be entitled, would be, not shall be, would be entitled in whole or in part, or in the alternative to a money judgment against one or more defendants. I'm going to put it in the chat room. And then it gives you the different ground. I'd like to take you to specifically C. Again, I say criminal procedure law 7.11, grounds for attachment. I take you to C. C says, and that is, they are telling you that this action will be taken against one or more defendant when C, the defendant, in this case, Stanton Witherspoon and Spoon Network, 2 of them. C, the defendant with the intent to defraud his creditors or to avoid service of summons has departed or is about to depart from the republic or keeps himself concealed therein. In this case, I don't see Spoon TV departing. They did not receive any summons. I'm speaking to what I saw this morning, and that they did not conceal themselves or whatsoever. So now that I've given you the criminal procedure law, I have quoted to you exactly chapter 7.11. I take you back to Article 20 of the Liberian Constitution, which states, Article 20, that one, so be right in front of you, the Constitution. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, security of the person, property, like in the case of Spoon, privilege or any other right except as the outcome of a hearing. The outcome of a hearing. Judgment consistent with the provision laid down in this Constitution and in accordance with the process of law. I don't know about any hearing. Somebody needs to correct me. But today, we were deprived, Liberian poor were deprived of the radio station. I'm not talking about Stanton, but our radio station were deprived of it. We don't know whether we had hearing. And according to the criminal procedure law, the grounds for attachment is when C, they got different grounds, but C, the defendant with the intent to defraud his creditor, which is not the case, there's no credit yet, or to avoid service of summons. We, the Liberian poor, the owners of Spoon TV, we did not avoid any summons, has departed. We, the Liberian poor, the owner of Spoon TV, we didn't depart, or is about to depart. We are not leaving the republic because we're there for election. We stay there, and keeps himself concealed. We, the owner of Spoon TV, we're not hiding. Actually, let all you say, we're right here, we're not going anywhere. And Article 20 says, in order to deprive us of our radio station, it should be the outcome of a court hearing judgment consistent with the provisions in the Constitution. I have provided my constitutional reliance. So, not only the reliance, I have quoted the section of the law that allows for an attachment to be issued. We have violated none of that for our station. Again, I say I will not talk for you because you can talk for yourself. But our radio station, where the government playing whistle, we don't know anything of any summons. We don't know about any hearing. As far as I'm concerned, they closed our station down. We just want a war to watch. But they didn't close our mouth. We are now followed by thousands of people. And this will cost President Weah hugely and bigly on October 10th. I repeat, it will cost him hugely and bigly on October 10th. I respectfully submit on that note.
Thank you very much, Honorable Fagon. We want to welcome you.
Please let me show my ring because somebody say I'm hungry and somebody say the ring on the man can feed you for 1 year.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Fadiga, welcome to the show. Let me bring in Mo Ali. We'll discuss this thing. I will be very measured in discussing this case because I am involved. I am involved, so I should be very measured in discussing this. Mo, talk to us. You woke up this morning. You called me there 5 times. I was asleep, but you kept on calling me. So talk to us, Mo.
I got up this morning to several calls that Spoon Network has been shut down. So initially, I wanted to clarify. I thought it was just Spoon FM, and then I called Good Day Flomo. He answered and said it's the entire network that has been shut down. And I was wondering why. Then I heard that there is a libel case that one Wilmot Smith, who worked or who was fired from Lisgis for corruption, who has been indicted by LACC for corruption, filed a libel case because he was allegedly called a criminal on this network. And I started asking myself, we have all of those other radio stations and television stations to insult people every day. But where the person said, yeah, but nobody has taken them to court. In this case, Wilmot took them to court. But Stanton, we've been getting intelligence for several weeks, months back, that there are plans to close down the network. There are plans to attack the network. So every time you expose the plan, they go back into their catacomb and re-strategize on how they want to close it. Every time you expose the plan, they go back and re-strategize on how they want to close it, on the methods they will use. So apparently today, they formed they found a way to close it down. So they say, well, since Wilmot Smith has a case in court, let's just go and close it down. We see that the court closing it down. And I am not disappointed. I am not surprised because we sit here from different political persuasions, different political backgrounds, and discuss our opinions on issues. We also give facts and factual information to the public. And I thought yesterday was one of those days when you people brought about information that could have significant shift and bearing on our electoral processes in Liberia. And I am not very certain that the government was happy about that. The other information I got is that 2-3 days ago, Stanton Witherspoon started a midnight show on the Spoon Network. And that has gained a lot of traction, even to where I am, passing and talking to Liberian. Everybody like, oh, that midnight show not easy. People usually think that Liberians go to bed early. They will not have the time to discuss issues when you are discussing after 12 midnight. But that's the time people are just lying in their bed and they are listening to radio. Some don't have any form of entertainment except the radio stations. And if any radio station is open at that time and discussing critical issues, you will have people participating. So I thought in my calculation that has hit the WIA government so bad, and they've said, we can't stand it anymore. We need to get them off the air. So they activated the court process involving Wilmot Smith. By the way, Wilmot Smith is a criminal. That's my statement. That's not your statement. Wilmot Smith was even expelled from the veteran community of the Student Unification Party because of corruption he has carried out in government. SUP also declaring him as a criminal. And so they have succeeded, they've closed it down. I want to believe that the management of Spoon Network will work with their lawyers and have the station open. But that's my opening statement. Thank you.
Al Hassan, can you go ahead, please?
I'm a little I was a little baffled, but not we expected this. Like you said, a lot of people have been hitting me. I know you shared the link last night about the show last night, but this we saw this coming. The government is trying to push. Look, remember a couple of months ago, I think in 2009, I found an article here where the president decriminalized label. I was trying to find the exact article on it. You see, these guys, they say one thing and do another thing. I think President Weah is pushing the limit, trying to see what he can get away with. Today is Spoon, and to my surprise, our friends on the ANC are celebrating, and that was the main troubling part. Joe Weah, I mean, we already know what Joe Weah is capable of. We're fighting to remove this government from power so that we can restore sanity back in our country. So that we are fighting on it. But what puzzles me and what really gets to me is the fact that some of our compatriots within the opposition are looking at this and celebrating, which is very, very disturbing. I know I call them the elite party. I know even if George Weah stays in power, they're not going to be affected. A lot of those folks in Atlanta, they're sitting down, they will be okay. So they don't care what happened on Broad Street or in Sunnyway or in West Point. They pretend that they care, but how can you care when a man that is destroying this country, you do not say one bad negative thing against him one day. You come here, you celebrate for a radio station that, in all fairness, that you have used, benefited from, and you try to submit. And that was the main thing that puzzled me and annoyed me the most today. But we will follow this case. The ambassador just said something about that. He praised the press during his last statement. He praised the press. He said that we should not stop talking. And the good thing that happened to humanity and happened to Liberia is we have social media and we have smartphone. Even though it's not too popular in Liberia, but we have it now and you cannot shut it down. So we will remain on Facebook, but we're going to fight tirelessly until we can see that spoon is reopened. And it will be reopened. And I will submit for now.
Thank you very much, Hussein. Thank you. Mame, welcome to the show. Talk to us, Abula.
Thank you, Stanton, and thanks to the other panelists for their opinion. I wanted to start like this. You know, this whole theory that a lot of people not on Facebook. So once we restrict the radio station, the few people on Facebook are already informed. Let me tell you this story. My mother was in Ghana during the Monserrato senatorial election, you know, taking care of kids in Ghana. So one day I called her in the middle of the campaign. She said, Amola, it's like this Dara Dillon boy will win the election. She's not a politician. She doesn't follow politics. She's just a cool old man sitting down taking care of her grandchildren. I'm like, but how you got to know? You're not on Facebook. How you got to know? She said, I can hear the children talking about the things on Facebook. The children all in the house here talking about this Dara Dillon man will win. I really feel so. People who are not on Facebook are influenced by opinions of those who are on Facebook. So don't underestimate the few people on Facebook, the opinions they generate, and how they communicate those opinions in their community. She was not on Facebook, never interacted with politics, but only listening to those who on Facebook communicating in the house told me that this Dara Dillon boy will win the election. So I just wanted to see that and pull that out. It's a weak strategy. We regret very strongly, you know, the decision to come down.
Mama, hold on 1 minute. It's like somebody knocking on the door. I went there, Let me settle some stuff because I'm in the office. Let me settle some stuff and make sure that I'm okay. Y'all can continue. I beg you, have some Mama like Jerry speak. But you know, it's very concerning. I alone yet probably I have to go home. But something that's strange are happening. So I'll be right back. Let me see what's going on.
Thank you. So we regret the situation, but this is a historical trend that I wanted to highlight. The trend of governments not being comfortable with critical voices. It's a trend. It didn't start today. It will not end today. We regret that it came very close this time to the platform that we all use. Like Tinton can always say, this is the Liberian people platform that we all use from different political persuasions. Come here and talk about our candidates and push our agenda and what we believe, our worldview on issues. It came very close. But this is a trend. The trend will not stop by knee-jerk reactions or reactions that are influenced by action. That when one government comes today and shut down 2 radio stations, those who are not shut down take the radio, condemn the action. It will not stop. It will only stop when we begin to elect leaders who are committed to the tenets of democracy, who have track record of ensuring that there is a free space, whether it is in the legislature, whether it's in our communities, whether it's at the level of the presidency. We should be thinking about people who, when elected, will not tolerate this type of action. Just waiting for them to happen and will criticize have not solved the problem. From the days of the 1960s, we started experiencing these things. But we keep electing leaders who do not have any track record, who do not have any appetite to ensure a free space and for the democratic process to go on. That would not be a solution. And we should begin finding that solution this election. Finding leaders as low as representative at the community level, at the presidential level, who have that appetite, who have that desire, that even if you disagree with me, I can say my and you can say your and the free space can be created for us to move forward. I just wanted to highlight that point.
Thank you, Abdullah. Let's go to Gibson. Gibson, you probably have seen the tapes or you heard of what happened this morning.
I beg you, Fagon. I have to leave. I will connect. I'm going home. Okay, let me leave the office because I alone here. It's okay not to alarm anything, but I will join you guys from home. All right? Let me leave. Thank you.
Please do not speed. All right, Gibson, so you may have heard, seen, and a lot of the things going around. Let's get an opening from you.
First, thank you very much, Eugene. And thank you all our panelists. Look, this morning, upon hearing that the Spoon TV FM compound was flooded and there were court officers, immediately I drove there. And by the time I left my residence at Duason, before reaching there, the court officers have already served the precepts, the court documents, closed the studio, and closed the building, and were already gone. But they were just leaving when I got there. So my information, after inquiring, I understand that the court case was not just today. It was something that started maybe a couple of months ago. A previous court document was issued, and according to one of the Spoon family members that I talked to, said that they claimed that they did not respond to the court precepts, and so the plaintiff, Mr. Smith, filed a writ of attachment, and that writ of attachment required the sheriff to seize the property of Spoon and all other property within their grasp to make sure that the management of Spoon comes to court to certify a $3.5 million lawsuit of defamation, not defamation, but libel and slander. You know, before we got there, I told my boys everything that was going to happen. When I heard it this morning, I told my boys while we were driving, I told them they're going to close the place. This is something that we are used to. Those of us who are still in the media, we are used to government using individuals using individuals and playing a pseudo hand behind the individual to take an action and then claim to have no part to play. Remember, within 3 hours of the incident, the Ministry of Information issued a press release, a press statement that they do not have any hand in the closure of Spoon FM. So my question was, okay, it's like, I mean, this is a joke. I said the Maningo man come in the town. They say, oh, yeah, nobody, we don't allow people to go after people with me. I say, me, I can't go after nobody with more. So who ask you? They say, so it's like the Ministry of Information is giving you information that nobody accused them of. Well, they will say they are proactive. We are doing it as proactive. Well, nobody accused you that you were responsible. So why are you making a clarification that you are responsible? For me, it raises, and look, my friend T. Mike, myself, we discuss everything. What will happen? The process, we are used to this. We know this. We know government pseudo operation. I can tell you without a stutter that the Georgia government has a hand in this. I can tell you without a stutter that the Georgia government has a hand in this. They are using Mr. Smith, who has alliance with Samuel Toa, who claims that his name was libel or slander. But guess what? The issue for which he is suing, he was the one who went to the studio and discussed the issue, and then the people begin to analyze the issue, and he claimed that they call him a criminal, and so he is suing for libel. Let me just say this: most 99% of all libel cases in Liberia have failed. For those of you who have followed Liberian media, 99% of all libel cases have failed. The only case that didn't fail was because some big hands were inside, has to do with Rodney Seal, who had Rodney Seal. Yeah, Rodney Seal. That's the only case.
30 seconds.
Yes. The reason it failed is because libel cases are very hard to prosecute. Excuse me. They are very hard to prosecute. The honor is on the plaintiff to show the malice that is within the libel or the slander. That is why libel or slander cases are very hard to prosecute. So this case, we are watching it as a legal matter. At the end of the day, it's going to pass, and Spoon FM is going to be open, Spoon TV is going to be open. But here is my fear, and I will say it now when it happens so that people will not be surprised. If Spoon has not posted the $1.5 million bond yet, there's a possibility that government elements will be threatening the bond, the surety bond insurance company, not to post bond for Spoon FM. It has happened before. We have seen that many, many times. My friends who have been under the same situation have tried to post a bond, and the bond sureties have been afraid because the government elements will threaten and say, if you post bond for these people, we will decertify you and you will not do business again.
Thank
So
you.
we should watch out for that. That is something that we need to watch out very carefully.
Okay, we'll go to our second round, starting with Mo Ali. Mo, if you take out your gadget right now and Google the definition of a criminal, according to the government press release, they said that the brothers sued for them slandering him or having something to do with libel, where they refer to him, quote unquote, as a criminal. It's in the press release in quotation. Now, if you define criminal, they will tell you a person who has committed a crime, one, or has been convicted of a crime. So that's two definitions there. And if you look at libel, libel is the act of defaming another person through writings, whether newspapers, other publication, article, blogs, social media. You are defaming this person. And if you look at slander, slander is the act of making a false oral statement. Now, as a media entity, somebody phone going off. If they say you are a criminal, can somebody control the gadget? If they say you are a criminal, Gibson and the others, it's because the LSCC had indicted you as such. The president, the LSCC said you committed a crime. They documented it. The president fired you for the same crime. And in the state of Rhode Island, if you look in the chat room, you also, the US government went after you for prostitution. Your pictures and everything there, the article is there, your records are here, they're still looking for you. So if a media entity refers to you as a criminal, there you go. You see Wilmer Smith Jr. right there. There he is for prostitution. April 3rd, 2015. Okay? Now, there were 22 persons busted in the sting operation in a hotel. The whole article is in there. Here is my question to the panel, and we'll start with Mo Ali. Mo Ali, do you think if and only if, assuming without admitting, that the network referred to him as a criminal, or that of even Stanton referred to him as a criminal, can this pass for libel, given that the LSCC already indicted him on criminal charges for stealing or whatsoever? Do you think it can fly? Libel and or slander. Do you think it's going to pass? Is Mo Ali there? Can you take the picture down? Well, if Mo Ali is not ready, we can go on to Al Hussein.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, all right, let's proceed.
Eugene, I'm not much versed with the law, but what I do know is that when you enjoy,
can we take down the picture?
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
When you enjoy a certain status in society, especially going as a deputy director at an institution like LISGIS. When you become a public figure, there are certain things that will be said about you which may not pass for libel. And I got to know this because there was a guy, I went to Calabash on a private event, and somebody took my picture and posted. Somebody calling themselves a blogger. I called my lawyers and said, oh, this is it. What can we do? The lawyer reviewed it. He called me back and said, my man, at the moment, you are a public figure. You take this person to court, nothing is going to happen. The court will dismiss it. So I said I wanted to sue the guy for libel, for defamation of character, for all kind of stuff. The
For slander.
said, just forget it. It's not going to stand anywhere in any court in this country. I think the same applies to Wilmot Smith. Wilmot Smith is a public figure. He's not an ordinary person in Liberia. He served as deputy director at LISGIS. And they were at LISGIS when a whole lot of things happened, especially relating to the census. But let's forget about anything happening relating to census. Once you assume those kind of position and you become a public figure, my man, what they can say about everybody, we will sit on the radio to talk. We who are in politics. People say anything about us. Sometimes you think we don't get hurt. Sometimes you contact your lawyer. It's your own lawyer that can tell you, say, my man, leave it. You get that case to court, nothing will happen. As a matter of fact, some of these cases, my lawyer would tell me, our lawyers will say, when you take them, it goes against you. The public sentiment goes against you. You will be tried and convicted in the court of public opinion. So some of these things, when they happen, you let it slide. That's why you should have a thick skin when you decide to come in a public glare. Yet, like Yeke Kolba always say, if you don't want the people to curse you, go do your lay private life. If you are very private citizen, you are not involved with any public thing. Some people, when they get caught, and they can go to court and they can win the case. But you over there, Eugene Lamy Fagon, when they cause you in Liberia, you go to court, you will lose that case flat. It will not go anywhere. So I am not certain if we are having a fair trial of this case, if it is going to go anywhere. Because there is no ground on which, in the first place, the people were discussing issues relating to the saga at LISGIS involving the census. They were discussing issues relating to LACC indicting Wilmot Smith.
Thank you.
On the basis of those facts,
30 seconds.
I don't see how any judge will convict somebody of libel or slander against Wilmot Smith. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to Al Hussein. Al, looking at the situation right now, can libel and slander pass? Because the reason why I'm asking you, and you're going to give the reason, is he came into the studio and discussed the issue. And then he was at the LACC, which is the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission, said, hey, bro, you stole. For which, again, he was dismissed. And the definition of a criminal, and I'm not saying that's what the station said, is a person who committed a criminal act or was convicted of a criminal act. I mean, your opinion, can it pass?
I don't know who got this thing up. Who put this thing up on the
He's having a problem with his computer freezing. He will soon remove it.
I'm not a lawyer, so I won't attempt to be one, but we'll just use common sense. Yeah, the thing here is we all know where this is coming from. This is not the government first time. The government have always wanted to close down the Spoon Network. They found a means to do it. The question that comes to mind is, where do we have free speech and the freedom of press? If you come to the press and these are all things in the news that we have to talk. The ambassador that is just going, or he said something, and I do agree with him. He said we in the media should not stop talking. He said we need to stop talking. And one of the things he admired about Liberia is the fact that we are talking. What I think is the government is becoming more concerned. This stupid guy keep calling me. Now I can black.
My man,
Yeah,
you on the L.
yeah. The place this thing have reached. Look, 3 things happened this week, and I know that it is the government trying to do. The Unity Party has tricks of wild victory where we shut down Mangibi, went to Bon County, moved on to Nima County. All these things that we are seeing, these are distractions. So that we are not talking. We got 3 months to the election. Oh, and then I'll tell you one thing. This is just the beginning. I heard from a reliable source, and I even told the incoming vice president. I told him this. I told him this, in one of our conversation, and they are going to do it. And this is an opportunity to bring this out too. I heard what the government is also planning to do, so maybe we should just put it out there that they're going to drop dead body near his farm and say he took a part, and somebody going to file another frivolous lawsuit against him so that it drag on in the court. You see the MO. So when I saw this, I'm like, their plan is coming into being. So we are just seeing this as spoon. The next thing we're planning to do is to go to the incoming vice president Jeremiah Kuhn's farm and drop a dead body there and say, oh, you know what, parts were missing. And then somebody will just come from oil and form a lawsuit. You see the plan? So we have been ahead of this thing. We already knew about this thing long time that it was going to happen. It's just that how it was going to happen. We didn't expect it to come to Spoon this fast. So Spoon next, they're going to be targeting other people because they want to keep us in court so that we are not on the campaign trail. We should not lose our sight of the bigger picture. You know, we should not spend too much time on this. Let us get to the meeting.
Thank you. Let's go to Gibson. Gibson, slander, libel. This guy was in the studio. You heard him. Everybody heard him. He came for the interview. It was LSCC that slapped it on him. And then the president fired him for it. And he says somebody slandered him and it was libel. What's your thought? Is it going to fly? You are muted.
During one of my papers, there was a case that my professor assigned me to. It was it's a defamation case, and we were sent there to do a brief on it. But we should watch the show. We watched the trial. At the end of the trial, the plaintiff was found. The plaintiff didn't have a case. The case was thrown out, and the only reason the case was thrown out, according to the judge, was the reason why the plaintiff sued. It was an invitational comment that it was an invitation to public scrutiny. He made a statement on social media, and the other guy took the statement and went further with the statement and made allegations, and the guy sued for those allegations and said, hey, they meant to defame me on social media. And the judge said, well, you invited the comment because you went in the public glare and made your statement about yourself. So it was open to interpretation and comments. And so that the guy lost the case, and we were able to make a paper on that. So I'm trying to look at why this guy will go to a studio, conduct an interview, speak about an issue, and journalists make analysis of the issue and comes back and claim that his character has been maligned. When he invited the comments that were made. He opened himself up to the public scrutiny. So I'm not sure, we are not lawyers, and maybe by tomorrow I will call maybe Councilor Gonglo to ask what could be the possibility of this case. So look, the issue of government closing radio station, newspaper, television stations is an age-old problem. Most of the time it happens and people dance about it. You know, when Costa station was closed, some people would say, yeah, let man to rule, let man be closed. And it gets the government emboldened they think they can do it to another newspaper or radio station, and they have done it again. And if this becomes a norm, it will continue on and on and on. You know, yet today I made a gesture to, I made a comment to the Spoon family, and I said, look, the best libel media law lawyer in the town is Councilor Gonglo, even though he's running for president. But he's willing to come in. If you want to invite him, there's no lawyer in Liberia that did media law and then Councilor Gonglo. He's been representing people. They can reach out to him. This case is cartoon. This case is cartoon. In my view, it's cartoon. The attachment alone, when you look at the attachment is too huge. I don't know. The attachment is too huge. So my only frustration here is, if this case started a long time, I don't know what the lawyers of Spoon TV, what did they do to the point that this attachment will lie. I don't know whether they responded to previous legal precepts, the legal, papers, whether they responded to it or they didn't receive any precept from the court. That's the only frustration I have here. But this case is dead. And we should hold this government accountable. Look, Eugene, this is serious. The government boasts of free speech. They boast of the Abdullah Kamara freedom of speech bill. But at the same time, they cannot witness or they cannot play a pseudo hand in something that a man who they are using an individual to suppress a media institution just because.
Well, let me hold you there and then ask you this quick question. Look
Yes.
at the man they're using. This is the same man the LSCC indicted for corruption to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then the president fired him. Why do you think?
So it is Eugene, you just gave us the true definition of a criminal. So even if the newspaper, if the radio station call him criminal, for me, I think it's a lie, because the president acted on a criminal offense that he committed and fired him. So it's certified for me. It's certified I would have called him criminal too, because the president sacked him for a criminal offense that he was accused of by the
Anti-Corruption Commission.
Liberian Anti-Corruption accused you of committing a crime. Based on that, the president didn't send you to court. He didn't do anything. He said, yes, I believe the anti-corruption, you did actually commit a crime. You are fired. And you expect the journalist to say otherwise? So I don't think this case is anything but a cartoon case. And I think the folks should reach out to Councilor Gonglo for him to help on this.
They're looking for all kind of way to provoke Gonglo on their woman. Anyway, Abdullah, libel, slander, will it be able to pass?
Without being a lawyer, I wouldn't want to go into the merits, but we can all form opinions, around the happenings, which I will try to do. But most of the time, like, Mo said, the lawyers in Liberia will try to stay away from libel cases, especially when you are in the public service. But in terms of going to the merits of the case, whether you can win or you can't win, I'm not a lawyer. I've not read the strength of their evidence, to make definitive statement on that. But few things to my attention. Wilmont filed a $3 million insurance security for the case. You heard that?
Yeah, but it's in the paper.
Under the Liberian law, and as required by insurance companies, when you file a $3 million security insurance, you must have paid 10% of the coverage, of the insurance coverage. So what that means is, if you are filing $3 million insurance, you must have paid 10% of that, and that's 300,000.
300,000. It's more than
this is former government official accused by the LSCC, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, for corruption, and he is securing a $3 million bond that requires him to pay in cash.
No, I don't think he's the one securing the bond now, because he's the one that is the plaintiff.
No, so
but
the
he's
bond
suing for that amount.
The bond is for Spoon TV.
He is the one suing Spoon TV for that amount. Unless you say he's trying to secure a case, well, but there's no way. He's the one suing.
The
And that's the money
information,
he wants from Spoon.
that's the money he wants from Spoon. The information I got is that he has secured, provided insurance on his case.
Oh, okay, I got you.
He has insured his case.
Right.
That this case is insured, we will win. So he got that insurance. So my question now is, a public official accused of corruption is able to meet the condition of securing a bond for his case. That is the point I wanted us to look at. The second point I want us to look at and to conclude on is, Gibson said, we've been experiencing this thing for long, we used to it now. Gibson, as a journalist, that's what he said, we used to it now. And without relying on his word, yes, the country has become accustomed to knowing that every government since 1970, even the Unity Party-led government, every government since 1960 have always found a way to use private citizens to get against critical voices that they not feel comfortable with. That's bad. So the solution to that, people listening to us, we cannot continue this path. And the solution is not to criticize.
30 seconds.
The solution, I know as soon as I start to hit now, I go 30 seconds. But I'm not going the route you're thinking. I'm really trying to speak to Liberians.
I mean,
yes.
I'm
really trying to speak to Liberians. I'm speaking to Liberians that we cannot keep doing this thing all the time, because it is you today, you feel comfortable. Tomorrow, it might not be you, or the person who is in power may not be associated with you, and their action might affect you. So it is time that we begin to elect leaders with track record, with the ability, with the patience, with the tolerance to build a democratic space for everybody to survive and thrive. That's the point I want to send home.
Okay. So, thank you so much. We're going to go to a much more hot topic, because we're going to go into
Eugene, can I ask a question? I don't know if anybody can help me. I was not able to get it today at Unspoon compound, at a radio station, but if anybody knows about it, let me know. If before an attachment is applied for, there must have been a proceeding, and that proceeding probably was a summary judgment against Spoon TV for not appearing in court or for not representing, for the legal team not representing Spoon TV at a particular time. And the plaintiff must have filed for summary judgment against Spoon TV. Is that the case here? Because I'm kind of wrestling.
I will ask you to hold that until he comes back in. Remember, he said he's coming back.
Yes, CEO, absolutely. I will wait. Eugene, thank you.
Let's go to this. We are hearing in some quarters that we will have at least 20 presidential candidates. We're not sure of that. But just put the joke aside. When it comes to the office of president for independents, we have one female, and that is Mrs. Kurma. It's easy to make that determination. We have another male that is running as an independent. But today we saw another gentleman registered. When it comes to female on the party ticket, we have one female that is going to be running on a party ticket, and we have 17 male that's going to be running on the party ticket. So that brings a total to 20, because there's a guy, Alan Brown, correct? Who finished off today. We will have 20 presidential candidates. The question I want to throw out to you, my esteemed colleagues, is that, how do you see it? A small country like Liberia will now host 20 presidential candidates. It's right on your screen. And I'm going to start with Al Hussein on this one. There is a law, and we all read the law. In 2017, some of these very people took part in the elections, or their party took part in the elections. Either or, one of the two. But a small country like Liberia, 20 presidential candidates. What do you think is going on, Al Hussein, in your mind? You're clean, you just look at it and comment.
What I see, I mean, we all know that there has been a proliferation of political parties in Liberia, and I think it's a hijacking of democracy. And one of the things this has done to our democracy, I hope after this election, the Boyka administration will look closely into this. I know there's not much that can be done, but we need to see how best we can build stronger institutions, like reduce it, try to narrow it down, or either make it difficult that these vain political institutions will not just be popping up here and there. We all know it is an open secret in Liberia why people open these political institutions. The reason here is just so somebody can have a seat on the table. And another thing that we have seen government do is to themselves prop all these political institutions so that they serve as spoiler. Because there's more people in the race, it kind of takes away from the other side. So that those that have the chance will not have we have slimmer chance. But again, I'm not very worried about it because when you look at Liberian politics, especially looking at this election, we got 2 or 3, apart from all those, even though we have 20, about 3 or 4 are viable. So the rest are just seat filler. They're just there in the race, join the list. So I'm not really going to consider them because I've seen election where some people get 0. I saw sometimes where people got 2, 3. So I'm not really worried, even though they are there, they are spending their own money. I'm not worried about that.
But what about the 2% rule?
The 2% rule, look, the government is infusing some of the people in the race. We all know what they are doing. There are certain individuals, even though they will not win, like if you look at Dr. Monima, for example, you look at Councillor Gonglo, there are few people that even though they will not win, but they will cause some damage. They will cause some damage because there are certain demographic of our voter are more inclined to vote for certain people. Like the Tiawon Gonglo, Councillor Gonglo, we look at Clarence Monuba, and few other people out there, they will steal some votes. One of the places that I find solace, and I will close on this, is the fact that Ambassador Boyka and the UP tend to be a grassroots movement. The voters are from everywhere. You got the college-educated urban voters, and we also have the rural voters. So they got a mixture of voters, unlike the ANC folks who had this elitist kind of voters. Most of them kind of the Alanda kind of mindset and something. So most of those people you will see, they will vote for the Clarence Monima, and people that are in urban, more college-educated. So they're going to be putting vote from the ANC and the CPP more than they will be putting vote from those people that will always come second. So, but it is concerning, but I mean, it won't do nothing
Before
to this election.
Go over to Witherspoon, you saw the law says, and it's the National Election Commission own law. The law said that the National Election Commission should do this. Why do you think the National Election Commission has not moved?
Because it serves the government.
To suspend those parties or individuals affected by the 2%. Quickly before we go to him. Quickly.
It serves the government. Look, George Weah has a set number that have never changed. We all know that. That 26 to 20% have consistently voted for George Weah. And he might most likely get those people and add few there because he's an incumbent. Other than that, he's not going
to... I disagree with you. George Weah do not have a base that can bring 26 to 30% anymore.
Well, it may have changed. That's why I say it may have shifted.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know who on this set. I really don't know who on this set would believe that. George Weah own folks that running away from him.
They're running away from him, but we look, people are hungry. And he who controls the belly tend to control the mind. Let's not underestimate the power of incumbency. This man is an incumbent. What the CTC did was they bloated our payroll with partisan. That one of the things when they did the salary redistribution, it was deliberate act to bring in more partisan on our payroll so that they become indebted to the government and more inclined to vote for them. even though we want to see how that will play up, but that's one of the reasons it did. So I think that could still keep them around that same 26, 30%, but that still will not give them a 50+1 to win an election. So, I mean, we're still in a comfortable position. And I'll submit on that.
You want me?
Yes. Go
Okay.
ahead,
Listen, yes, I'm home now. Everything is fine. Yes, indeed, I'm home. I prefer doing the show from home, where you are more comfortable.
Eugene, can I say something to Steno? Steno, can you bring up to speed on this case, because a lot of us kind of struggling our head.
That's exactly where I'm coming. Yeah, you are quite correct. That's where I'm coming to, because leaving and monitoring you guys, I heard Gibson trying to do some cashing out. And thanks, Gibson. Thanks a lot for driving at the station. You and your guys. This Wilmer Smith, former deputy director from Legis, allegations of defamation of character on his part because he was dismissed by President George Manawia. As per the LDCC report, everyone have access to the LDCC report, or just call Councilor Martin. It's on about generator and other stuff. The allegation that LDCC is saying you did X, Y, and Z, we ran as a credible news network. The documents are there. Where in the document that we came up to say, because I'm involved with this case, Al Hussein, the story here, woke up one morning, Wilmer Smith sued, based on allegation that he was fired because of what LDCC put out there. Isn't it a fact that LDCC have Wilmer Smith on the document? Everybody knows it's a fact. That one of the suggestion, the recommendation, it was Legis, Agriculture Ministry, and the rest of them. They are on documents. But I'm limited to really go in detail. So there was a lawsuit on me and on the network, and my lawyer, the team of lawyers, they are addressing the issue as we speak. The law would be the law, of course. What more can I say in this? Whether they have served me, I have seen no document. Me as a person, I have seen no document, legal document to say, Stanton, you are served. But the way in which they do the law, we got to follow suit in Liberia. Let me say this. Folks are saying today I received a lot of calls. I was shocked. Fadiga, I was shocked. The amount of calls I received and folks that were willing to go to the station. Gibson, we must always remain Lord abiding. Even if the devil from hell tries to change our attitude, we should always be Lord abiding. We will make the case for the Liberian people. We will speak on the issue. We will hold this government responsible. I saw the report from Legible Rennie today, his statement. The government got nothing to do with it. We can read it if you guys have not read it. As a network, under the leadership of the CEO, Madam Titi Kane, the folks need to understand. We are in the election season. If you are part of it, or if you are not part of it, the law got to be the law, and we got to follow suit. So my team of lawyers, led by Councilor Cyril Jones, they are on top of the case. Please, to all Liberians, listen to us. Even to those radio stations that relaying, I want you to listen. This time is season for everything. The place and time for everything. Whether you're for or against, we have to speak truth to power. They may not like it, but we have to speak truth to power. And I will say on this show, like I always said, I will say it when I see it. You will talk your own, I will talk my own, and the people will decide. We will not be afraid. The network killed no one. The network, what has happened, go ahead, go to court, file your bond. That's the system. By the grace of God, Spoon will be on shortly. By God's grace, Spoon will be on very, very soon. And the people in Radio Land will have access through the radio to follow Spoon to the end of this election. Ledger Wilberny said what he wanted to say. President George Manawea is the best when you talk about freedom of expression. Well, we'll go dive in history and we'll understand, and the Liberian people will decide. I do not want Gibson, Abulai, Fagon, Mo Ali, Al Hussein, and the rest of the team to go crazy. We should respect the rule of law. It may not be what we want, but you know me. The rule of law will be respected. When folks call me, they wanted to go on the street, I said, nah. I beg them. I beg them. We are not ready for another problem. We will respect and be law-abiding entity. We are not ready for another problem. The folks that call me scare the hell out of me, Fadika, to tell you the truth. Those folks that call me make me to go back and think 1990. I had to beg. I had to say no. No. We got Facebook, we'll do our show on Facebook. No. I had to beg. In no time, Gibson, you were there. People from all over, they were getting in pickup trucks, going to the station. In no time, I had to talk to a former, hey man, I don't want to say this, and beg that individual, Fadika, we will not allow the enemy to rise and cause us shame in Liberia. We will not allow it. We will be disciplined. We'll remain disciplined. And we will be law-abiding entity. To all of you that reach out to us, we say thank you. All of you that are praying, the network will be back. But this opportunity that enemies want to use to cause problem in the name of Spoon Network, it would not happen. It will not happen. I would beg you. I would beg you. I'm begging you. The judge will be the judge. The lawyers will be the lawyers. The entity will be entity. For or against, Liberia first. Liberia first. I say thanks to all political leaders that reach out to me. All of them. That reach out to Madam Titi Kane. First and foremost, Jose Yeman Bwaka put out a statement, reached out. Tewan Gonglo spoke to Madam Titi. Delon put out a statement. Jeremiah Kuhn reached out. Samuel Kofi Woods, the entire Unity Party, we say thank you. All the political leaders that told me, say, please don't call my name, but I'm reaching out to you to say we know and we're standing by you. Those that are having fun with this thing, we say thank you. Those that are celebrating, we say thank you. Make no mistake, folks. Whether President George Manawea win this election or whether he doesn't, one thing you should remember, President George Manawea cannot go more than 6 more years. Make no mistake. Liberia will be redeemed. Liberia will be better. Make no one mistake. Whether you give him power today, whether you allow him to win the election, comes October 10, President, we are but have 6 more years. And one day, like Madame Salif, like Chasteda, like Tauber, like Doe, like Tubman, President Weah will be former president. One day, we are not going to lose our cool. We're not going to lose our cool. No way. We have come too far for a better day. We will not. But today, we will have Late Night with Spoon on Facebook. Tomorrow, we will have Spoon Talk. Sunday, we will have God Can Bless Anybody. The radio station will be open. And by the grace of God, the people will hear. Till election, this people radio station will be on, and the people will understand the true radio station in the land. To the staff of the network, you still have a job, because I spoke with Madam Titi. You still have a job. You just gotten paid. You will get paid again. Almost 60 individuals working for the network or less. Trust me, they will still get paid. The family need to eat. The children need to go to school. The young men and women that every day they say, I'm going to work. The 200, the 300 they make, God will still provide for them. God will still provide for them. You want to take food from the mouth? God there. You want them to suffer? God there. Will remain tall, Gibson. No one, no individual will kill our spirit. I have been through enough because I said no to offers, because I said no to injustice, because I said no to behavior that have brought our nation to the worst place ever. And I will continue to say no as long as I have breath in me. I will continue to speak truth to power. I will continue to name names. And I will continue to set the path for the Liberian people, the path that Liberia can be set free from this mess she has found herself in. So I say thank you. I know you guys want to stand with us. Fadika, thank you. Gibson, thank you. Abula, thank you. Mo Ali, Dr. Richardson, Eugene Fagon, all the staff, Madam Titi, Madam Pat, Diamond, James Goudet, Yekazi, Nelson, Baron Barra, everyone, even the securities, we say thank you. See the work of Liberians today. Maybe you just saw the little on Facebook, but see the work of Liberians today, Fadika. See the people that was going to give themselves up because they're saying enough is enough. See phone calls that have come in, international phone calls that have come in. The VOA reached out to us, and VOA said they want to have an interview. But I expect the legal system, we cannot talk to them right now. Listen, this is an entire network. Madam Titi, the CEO, she was scared whether she would talk to them or not. We'll reach out to other international press group, and they will be making their statement. They have reached out to the European ambassador. Madam Titi is reaching out to the American embassy, and these things will be reported accordingly. But we remain truthful that you will not sadden us. You will not use anyone to sadden us. No. We say it as we see it. Information reaching us that the president is doing everything in his power to be re-elected. That's fine. But let's push him. Let's challenge him. Have he done enough to deserve the people vote, to deserve the re-election? Have he done enough for the Liberian people? Look at the amount of Zogos that are on the street. Have he done enough? Look at the extrajudicial killing. Have he done enough? Look at the massive corruption. Have he done enough? That's the question we are asking. You got mad because we say you get your money 10-10? You get mad because you take the Liberia people money and go have fun all of the country? Have you done enough? Do you deserve a re-election, Mr. President? This is a fair question. This is a 100% fair question. I want the president to think one day, do you deserve re-election? Look at your surrounding. Get in your car and just drive on the street and see the amount of Zogos. Have you done enough, Mr. President? Should the people give you another 6 years? Don't give a story. Look at Rabofi International Airport Highway. You just came back from Israel. Is that what you gave the Liberian people? The road that you drove on to go home, Mr. President? East International is the money. Who gave them the money? It was you, Mr. President. You gave them the money. Have you done enough? This is crazy. Why can't we speak? Why can't we tell the Liberian people the truth? How many homes Samuel Eto'o have built in Ivory Coast? How many mansions the Deputy Finance Minister Samara Cody have he owned? How many mansions? Look at the report we gathered today from Israel. Fagon, have you discussed it? Look at the report, your visit to Israel, the intention of you going to Israel. We have that report. When we talk about Baton Yensua, you say, why are you still talking about this story? When we talk about Abba Peter, Gifty Lama, you still blame people while they're talking about these stories. Have you done enough? When we talk about your SS special security guy that got shot, and up to today, zero investigation. Have you done enough, Mr. President? Should the people re-elect you under these conditions? Not by paying 2 for 5 pack, rainy season, that swimming pool, dry season, a basketball court. Are you counting that as part of your legacy? This is messed up. This is worse. Liberia deserves better. And the Liberian people need to know this. Look at some of the pictures we were showing last night. Look how, guys, I beg you, just give me a few more minutes, Fagon, please. Look at some of this picture.
Go ahead.
The honorable Gray, when he was fighting Madame Salif, challenging Madame Salif. See what happening in his district today. See what people will go to defecate, they say to poo-poo. Look at Akaris Mosi Gray, look in his backyard. We have his home in Rock Valley that he built. He didn't build his home in district number 8. The home that he built. Can we talk about the lawmakers? Look at this filth, this dirt. So we talk in your vest. You tore your own, you lied to the Liberian people. You received so many 30,000 United States dollars for community engagement. Look at this mess. You don't think we deserve better? Somebody's daughter, God forbid, somebody's little son going to go draw water, mistakenly fall in that well. Unsafe drinking water. People getting sick and they're dying. Look at what you call toilet in your community, in your district. For almost 12 years. Is this what you have to offer to the people? President, we have went to district number 8 and said, for my birthday, re-elect Akaris Mosi Gray. And the people did. But is this what you're giving to them again? Is this what you're giving back? Our country deserves better, Mr. President. I don't care if you shut the station down, but I care about those that work at the station, that are taking data home, the Liberian people that listen to the station religiously. Look at this little child. Imagine your daughter, maybe 8, 9, or 10 years old, going out there to draw dirty water to drink, to take bath. Look where we have found ourselves. Then we must sit down because they offer us 50,000, and we say no, we must sit down and don't talk. You think that money will want Samuel 12? God will provide. We don't have it, but the Lord will provide Samuel 12. You can buy them all, but you cannot buy us. We will continue to speak truth to power. We will continue to tell the president when he made a mistake, we say, Mr. President, you're wrong. I ate with him, me. I drank with him, me. I told him what I had to tell him. And I said, Mr. President, you need to change course. You need to turn this thing around. It doesn't look good. So to Gibson and everybody that reached out, we say thank you. And I will beg folks, no protest. I will beg folks, no demonstration. This thing will go through. Somebody said, oh, Mo Ali, this is what somebody tell me, CEO, you don't know these guys. We got to go there. We got to go there now. I said, no, 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 no. Enough is enough. We cannot go that route. We cannot. We cannot. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. One thing you can trust before I finish up, because Fadiga asked a good question. One thing you must believe, we have not taken dime from the government. Even today, when I closed the network, Spoon Network will still carry on Jefferson Koji program, his certification program today. Today, it's on the page. They can use Wilma Smith, it's okay. But the law will be the law. Some good judges are in place. Some good lawyers are in place. I respect the judicial system. The law will be the law. Nobody will come here with a tabata. Nobody should come and talk nonsense. No one. I would never, ever be afraid. Never, ever. When my legal trouble came upon me, people say, oh, CEO, go sit down. Don't talk. It was me. They never wanted me to talk. But the day will come, I will speak about that legal issue, Frank. Oh, CEO, go sit down. We beg you, don't talk. Change your name. Change your radio station. The radio station, you know, that you can respond, take your picture down. How dare you? You have been compromised. But again, I will say to everyone, let justice be done to all men, and we remain Lord abiding. I will not call anyone on the street. I will not call anyone to demonstrate, to protest, because the law will be the law, and we will see through. And Spoon Network will be up shortly. The radio station will be on shortly. The Liberian people will hear the truth, nothing but the truth, so help us, oh God. We are in a troubled time, and we will stand firm. We will be above the fray. Whether the opposition political party wishes us well, whether opposition political party wishes us well, listen, folks, you know me. I care less what people say about me. Me as an individual. Don't tell me. Those that will call you and talk to your friend, they go on Facebook and write something up, I care less. Because my mission, my goal is to satisfy the Liberian people. The mother that gave him birth but dying, no medication, she cannot even reach to the hospital. That market women that go in the market and nobody can buy her food. That student that continue to go to school and cannot graduate. That person that's sick right now in the hospital cannot leave because they cannot afford the hospital bill. That child is going to bed hungry right now and only dirty water they can drink. Those are the people we are fighting for. The men that have to do a security job every night, wash somebody's cars, open somebody's gate. Those are the people we are fighting for. I could have sat down here in America and said, thank God for my family and myself. I care less. What good will it do me, my people? This time is season for everything. We have come too far for us to let go. Less than 90 days to election. It can come any which way. But we will be strong. We will fight the good fight. We will overcome the temptation. We will overcome the trials. because God is on our side and God is on the side of Liberians. I said, thank you, Fagon. Thank you, Mo Ali. Thank you, Al Hussein. Thank you, Mepek Gondo. Thank you, Gibson Jeru. Thank you, Abula Mame. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Thank you, Remy Gray. Thank to all of our wonderful producers. Thank to the network. Thank millions to the Liberian people. We're not leaving you. We will be with you even to the end. That then we say, free our lives, free our lives. Thank God Almighty. Liberia is free our lives. I rest. Thank you very much, Fagon.
Fagon, quickly, Fagon.
Okay, the way you yell it, quickly, Mabisoni Guru.
Yes.
You're not allowed to announce Gonglo.
No.
Okay.
Fadiga says something that I wanted to just reconnect our memory to about George Weah number. Liberians do not vote like zombies. Liberians vote on two issues, and I will reference the Southeastern region as example. Liberians vote on expectation and result. 2005, they were voting from the Southeastern region as an example. They were voting with the expectation that their son George Weah will win the election. He will build their roads, he will build their schools, he will create opportunity for them to get jobs. So they voted for him massively. When Ellen became president, Ellen got less than 5% of the vote in the Southeastern region. How do they vote on result? When Ellen got elected in 2005, between 2005 and 2011, she took golden beryllium, she took equatorial palm oil, she took Putu mine, and several other foreign direct investment in the Southeastern region. That was result. Because of that result, in Sino County, Ellen got 46% of the vote. In Grand Cru, 48, defeating CDC. In Maryland, 42, and in River G, 54. Because the people were voting on result. In 2017, they were also voting on expectation that George Weah will build their roads, he will build their schools, he will create jobs. Today, George Weah has built more houses for himself than he has built schools for the entire country. And you think the people will go back and vote for him only because his name is George Weah? No. Liberians will be rejecting Weah because he failed to deliver on his promises. There are people who vote on result, and when you fail to deliver result, they reject you.
Thank you. Anyone has a response or comment to what the CEO just delivered? Quickly, it's only 1 minute.
Yes,
Concerning the network.
I will just do 1 minute, and thank you, Stanton, for that elaborate commentary, which was very necessary. I feel your pain. We've been through all of this. Okay, mine was a situation where I would not get advertisement because Ellen government told all the advertisers not to advertise with me. Lone Star, Cellcom, and all the big companies. Every time I went in, they say, well, the government don't want us to give you ad. So only the UN used to give me ad. So I know the chicanery of the government. But we should remember that it is becoming a pattern in Liberia that other reports are used for journalists to report, and they are turned around to become defamation. In the case of Rodney Sear, he used an audit report about Christopher Toe. And I've seen other reports, even though it was in the audit report about the missing millions at the Agriculture Ministry. But what did Christopher Toe do? They sued Rodney Sear, and the court upheld that lawsuit. Why is it that people are audited, auditors make allegations of grave mismanagement of national funds? When journalists report that, and then it becomes a crime for the journalist. It is embarrassing for our country that people who are watching from the distance, they see our country drifting back into the dark days.
30 seconds.
When journalists, when advocates, activists, human rights groups are being maligned, they are being chased for expressing their disapproval, disagreement, and their opinion. This is something that we all need to stand by any media institution. If one media institution is stuck by the government, no media institution should rejoice, because it can get elongated and it can stretch its tentacles to other media institutions. We are in complete solidarity with Spoon FM and TV, and I can guarantee that it will be up very soon. I talked to Councilor Gongo today, and he just laughed out the lawsuit, and he's the best in media law.
Thank you,
So
thank you.
I believe it's going to be.
Thank you. He didn't pay for the advertisement.
I mean, you want the man to talk about Councilor Gongo conversation? No, Fagon, it's not right. The man talked to Councilor Gongo.
He said he
I
talked
talked
to Gongo about it.
I talked to Councilor Gongo.
I knew you were coming.
Fagon, you know that Councilor Gongo is the only media lawyer in Liberia. The only media lawyer.
What you say? We respect.
Well,
No, but am I right though? Because Councilor Gongo reached out, and we got to appreciate Councilor Gongo.
That's why I say we respect the man's opinion.
Immediately when it happened, let me just tell you something. Immediately when it happened, he
Cheryl,
called me
we
saying,
gotta find you.
I heard the Gibson.
It's 6:21. We'll talk to Gongo behind the scene. Now, the next person, let me welcome Gono. She just came in. Madam Gono, you're welcome. Do you have anything to add to what Stanton said?
Thank you. Absolutely. These are troubling times. I woke up to the news this morning myself, and heavy-heartedly, of course. And I just want the Spoon family to know that, the Spoon Network to know that we're in solidarity with them. I mean, another report is out there. You do not sue the LACC who say you're corrupt, but you sue the media house that reported what the LACC said. That for me is a smokescreen for the real reason for which the media houses were closed. And I want you to know that we respect the fact that the Spoon Network, a CEO and management, has decided to follow through with the law. I admire the level of confidence the CEO has expressed in our judicial system. I spoke to him behind the scenes, and he was very optimistic that he will secure a bond, that this case appears to be a legal one. And let us hope that it's not a political one. Let us hope that this is now a litmus test to test the will of our people as we go towards elections, because I think our people are pretty much resolved. To try a case like this, or to attempt to execute justice for a case like this, is not a bad thing. But when it's selectively done, there are so many cases out there, and you can swiftly respond to a Spoon Network case after this network has been going after ills in our society, going after people who do not need to be re-elected. Then, when there's selective justice, then there is an issue. And my people, someone once said there is no greater injustice than the one that is done in the name of the law, where someone uses the law to enforce something because of their selfish motive. So, CEO, we stand by you. We support this platform. The people of Liberia are disappointed today. I'm not saying the few people who are heading there because they feel you don't support their political interests. They are in the unnoticeable minority. There are a handful of people. We're talking about the thousands who listen to this network, from Zwedru to Ganta to the southeast, everywhere. So our people are disappointed. But again, that's where leadership comes in. You've advised them to listen and let us explore the legal process. And we want to believe that the government, in good faith, will look at this, that Bukos case, and be able to accept our appeal and open our lines again, so that our people can be able to benefit from this constitutional right, the right to participate, to speak, to listen. So we just want to say we're in solidarity. We've come here. For me tonight was a busy night, but nope, I had to leave everything and come so we know that we're with you. And we know that the government herself, and that was a very brilliant thing. Someone reached out to me and said, with everything the government did, Spoon is covering the program at the CDC headquarters. And I said that is maturity in our democracy. I congratulate the network for that. And let's continue to work together. I knew
30 seconds.
was one night that we were going to hear Cheru talk again about Councillor Gonglo. But yes, he has been one lawyer that has been at the forefront with Rodney Sier, with Henry Costa, whenever media houses came under attack. We cannot take that from him. And that's why we need him to straighten our judicial system under the Ambassador Joseph Yima Boyka-led government. So we'd like to see
30 seconds and thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Let me say this real quick. Did you guys read the press release from the press union?
We've not seen it. That's
Okay,
the next question I was going to ask.
it's in the chat room. We must appreciate the press union of Liberia condemned the arbitrary closure of Spoon Network Incorporated. So it's there. Maybe we can post it and you can read it. But I want to say thanks to the press union of Liberia likewise.
I think it says, let's do it quickly. The Press Union of Liberia, the PUL, strongly denounces the recent order by the Civil Law Court to shut down Spoon Network Incorporated, considering it a direct infringement on freedom of expression and the free press. The PUL views the action as arbitrary, intimidating, and an attack on the fundamental principles of democracy. The PUL emphasizes that this court decision undermines democratic values and the significant progress made by government to uphold the rights to freedom of expression and free speech. Such actions hinder the development of an open and transparent society. In its official statement, the press union vehemently condemns the closure of Spoon Network, describing it as a barbaric and harsh decision that seems to carry the venom of a politically exposed person. The PUL firmly believes that this matter should be treated as a civil issue and not a criminal one, highlighting the need for a judicial approach rather than a political one. The union insists that the action to issue writ on a broadcaster with an attachment order is clearly to get it off air and has absolutely nothing to do with the merits of the case. The action, the PUL says, is an intentional closure of Spoon Network, intended to damage its tender and lower its rating by the time the ban is lifted. The Press Union of Liberia urges the relevant authorities, including the Civil Law Court, to reconsider the decision and reinstate the operations of Spoon Network Incorporated. The closure of Spoon Network is aimed at stifling freedom of the press, especially in a country where the press is only partially free, according to freedom trackers. The closure of Spoon Network by the court suggests a deliberate attempt to restrict or suppress the press, which is fundamentally a pillar of a democratic society. Freedom of the press is a vital component of a functioning democracy, and as it allows for the free flow of information, promotes transparency, and holds those in power accountable. The union asserts that when courts are used to silence or hinder the press, it undermines these principles and threatens the overall democratic fabric of a country. The PUL laments that with the shutting down of Spoon Network by courts or using them to curtail the freedom of the press, it becomes difficult for journalists to carry out their work effectively. They are likely to face legal hurdles, intimidation, or even imprisonment preventing them from reporting on important issues or uncovering wrongdoing the union fears. Spoon Network has been in court since late 2022 after former Deputy Director General of Liberia Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services, LIGIS, Wilma Smith, filed a libel suit against the broadcaster. For further inquiry, please contact Akwe M. Beza Jr., Secretary General, Press Union of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, you heard it. More Ali than Al-Hussein Fadiga. What sayest thou?
Well, I've listened to the press union statement, and I thought the statement is very powerful.
Yeah.
Like we have said from the beginning, I don't know anything about law. When you see me to quote her, that means someone came me to quote, or I go listen to case. But the thing is, to prove these kind of cases are extremely difficult. And one point that I mentioned from the beginning, the press union mentioned it. When you are politically exposed, you become a public figure. And you are no longer a private citizen. When you are not a private citizen, the media can drag you most of the time. They've dragged every one of us here. If we were suing the media for dragging us, and the courts were taking action the way we feel in accordance with our feelings, time like this, no radio station operating in Liberia. Because practically they can insult you, they insult your whole generation. But when you become politically exposed, in fact, I most of the time I apply for jobs. I don't get it not because I'm not qualified, but because I'm politically exposed. They write back and tell you are politically exposed person. We don't think you are going to be suited for this job. The government might not want to cooperate with you. The fact that you are not on government side. So that one we must move on. The people close that station down, like the PUL said, because they wanted to close it down. They wanted to get at the network. We come on this network, and we can make flower here. They give you Jerome here when you're ready to deal with working in it. He can deal with it. So the network has diverse views. Everybody comes here, we deal with your own candidate, you deal with our own. I'm not sure they even stop the government people from appearing yet. They used to be here plenty. Sometimes when the network make you vet, you can put sanction on yourself. I know at a certain point in time, we put sanction on ourselves. We say we're not talking to that main station.
It's the same they have done. CDC said that people not come here.
They put sanction on themselves. That's good. When you put your sanction on yourself, the other people lifting their sanction from themselves. This that way I can't buy anybody from coming. When you come, you get vexed.
No, you said when you put sanction, other people lift your sanction.
Yeah, when you put your sanction on yourself, then the other people lifting our own sanction. So when the other people were sanctioning themselves, then we were lifting our own sanction. We say, okay, now I want no time to go there now.
You saw opening.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
That's it. I don't think that case is going anywhere, but there may be other underlying factors. Like I listened to Fagon today. Maybe they're going all in our place to plant bugs and all those kind of things, to be interfering with our broadcast and all those kind of things. But I'm sure we'll get rid of it. Thank you.
Okay, so then I come to Al-Hussein. Al-Hussein, listen to this. And I'm quoting directly from the press statement, so I want you to listen. Freedom of the press is a vital component of a functioning democracy. It allows the closure. I'm quoting from the speech, the release. The closure of Spoon Network is aimed at stifling freedom of the press, especially in a country where the press is only partially free according to freedom trackers. The PUL and the quoting freedom trackers are saying the press is partially free. And so the closure of a spin network is aimed at stifling the freedom. Do you share that view?
Yeah, I mean, we always knew that. Look, the first thing this government tried to do was to delegitimize Spoon. So what they did was they said none of our people will come there. They try to pop up another network to be a competitor. That is not working. We all see how that going. So what they are trying to do now is going on the final phase. Then we try everything. We try to sabotage you guys, not working. So they will go for the killing now. So that's it. This is exactly what we are seeing here. So everything else fail. Spoon is gaining more traction. Look, I told someone the other day, I said, before I used to believe that people were planting people to call. Oh, my man, just 2 days ago, we opened a line just for 30, I don't know, 50, I think 15 minutes, we got about 18 calls. Out of those 18 calls, you're not hearing one person talking about the government. Besides Bueka and something, you're not hearing nobody talking about the government. The tension in the country right now, so when the message is becoming clear and clearer every day that the Liberian people are tired. Even though they have put fear in them, a lot of the people decide to hold their vote close to their chest and they will protest at the battle box. So look, recently, the nighttime show that Stanton started, and then I'm going to join tonight. I thought we we're going to go on tonight. It was even more scary.
No, we're on tonight. We're on tonight.
Oh yeah, we'll be having tonight.
We're having Terry.
No, you're not coming there, please. We are charging. People don't just come on our show. That show is not for free. This one is for free.
Let me hold you right there, Fadika, because you say I have over 4,000 phone numbers. Over 4,000 phone numbers that now we included in the WhatsApp chat room. Folks that enjoying the program, and all I can do, go through the WhatsApp and just start calling people from Liberia and international WhatsApp number. It's very important. We will be on again tonight. We're discussing district number. What's his district name? 7, Solomon George, right? And Solomon George will cost tonight again, but we'll be discussing him.
Yeah, but you see, the thing here is the mind. Look, the media plays an integral role in our body politics. Like it or not, this election will be won. Look, we got social media, we got the radio, we got all the different networks. Those guys are afraid. Every time, the mind is the object of repetition. That is one thing that you cannot turn off. That's why ads work. That's why people play the ad. So the more people saying that they do not want George Weah, chances are other people will pick up on it. And the noise is getting louder and louder. People will become more daring and be more explicit about their dissatisfaction in the country. So I think the government is smelling the rat. In barely 3 months to the election, they're doing what they have to do. Because imagine a Spoon is open up to October 11. October 11. I would say October 10. They won't have something. These guys know that they will not be around because the program going to change. The noise going to get louder. More people going to start picking up the station. All those small FM will start picking up the station. That has chances of one election. And who do they have? How they call Freedom FM? How they call that other thing?
30 seconds.
So I'm not surprised. We just got to keep fighting this thing. We got to keep pushing this thing until we get this guy out of power. I think that the ultimate goal here.
Thank you very much. Let me go to Gibson. Then I'll go to Mappa. And I come to the other to Ambulad, because I can't put Gonglo and Gonglo. If you put Gonglo and Gonglo, you have fire in the studio. So
I thought Mappa spoke already.
Okay, so what I would do then?
No, I haven't spoken on the PUL.
She just told. That was my introduction. Okay, so let's use Gibson. Hey, Gibson, you can speak to the PUL stuff, but what I want you, before you close on it, how effective right now is this closure? The fact that you got over 4,000 or 7,000 people watching you live right now. You, Gibson, talking to them. But go to the PUL statement. They said we got partial press freedom in the country. Do you agree with our assertion?
Let me start with the last concern. How effective is the closure? What the government tried to do is the Spoon FM ability to use other subsidiary radio stations that get to the people on the ground. Yes, we have a great traction on the social media.
Well, let me tell you, Stanton make announcing here that he hungry the whole world here in there. You hungry? That ain't the man Cappy Gipsy go ahead, mute your teeth. Come on, hungry man.
So what is happening is
for a country.
the government knows the effect of radio communication on the use of and other radio stations that are going to the people, even from this show, broadcast direct. It has the propensity to reduce the government's inroad that they might be making on the ground. And so closing the radio station on the ground means that they cannot relay the effectively as you relay when you are on. So that's how the government thinks about it. But the social media broadcast today is getting more effective because people who are listening and watching on the social media, they have friends, they have relatives, and they transmit these messages to their people. It still makes a lot of impact, but the only thing that we have to make sure that this does not live or survive another day is that we have to get all the radio stations that continue to relay us on the ground up and running. So that's it. Now, pre-UL statement. Do we have a partial press freedom? Well, when it's PUL is an experienced organization that has dealt with press freedom all these years. I once served as chairman for the press club that has to do with the Wilmer Bladen lecture series. I was once a chairman. So I know the PUL involvement in dealing with media issues as far as shutting down radio stations, shutting down newspapers, arresting and detaining journalists, harassing and intimidating journalists. They are quite aware of those things. Yes, there is a partial freedom because people are still speaking, people are still making allegations, radio stations are still there. The government just cannot go and arrest everybody and put them in jail, which they would like to do to silence people. Unfortunately, it cannot happen. So they are using pseudo approach. They use pseudo approach, use individuals, push them to file lawsuit against the media institution, capitalize on the media those lawsuit, and impress that individual to go even fund the individual, provide funding for their lawyers and all of that. They can do that, and the individual will continue to suppress or they continue to press that case. What happened today? What happened today? It's a travesty of media of press freedom. So how did the attachment, I'm just confused about the whole attachment thing. How did you come to the point of seizing a radio station? How did you come to the point? Has the case come to an end? Is the judgment now made from the civil law code that yes, Spoon FM, Spoon TV is liable to Wilmot Smith for in the tune of $3 million plus? And so because Spoon FM cannot pay, therefore we can attach their property. Is that what we are looking at? How the attachment bill came about? Look, this is really, you can see pseudo hands behind this thing. Pseudo hand. And the funny thing is the Minister of Information came out and said, oh no, we're not part of it. Who asked you? Who accused you? You know, and like everybody in the town, they say, oh, we'll take all the ugly people from the town. Guess in Jerunata. Then Babu say, my man, me, I'm ugly. Why are you talking to me for? Who asked you that we didn't accuse you?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go to Mape, and I know she's going to lay it out for us. Mape, you heard the PUL statement read. They literally said, you already know the freedom trackers have said we got partial press freedom. Then you can't do the other thing. So help us out here. What are your thoughts? And Abdullah Mohammed left the show to go eat. Why, man, saying I'm crying? Well, hey, man, hungry. Hey, you know. To sit there and talk for 4 hours, that's smart you.
Well,
go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, big brother. Well, You have to understand that the freedom trackers are very right. This case is not an isolated case. You had a scene with Roost FM, you had a scene with Punch FM, you had a scene with Front Page Africa. The journalist went to jail. So this case is not in isolation, and we saw a repeat of what has happened in the past. Did you see the sheriff enter that place?
Yeah.
Did you see his body language? Did you see the way he carried out? That's not how a sheriff goes to deliberate. And sometimes it's sad that our people are forgetting that we have come from a civil conflict, and there's still a lot of fear around our people. So obviously, the PUL is right. Their statement is strong. Their statement is in solidarity. That's the right thing to do. And my brother just Gibson talk about those pseudo hands behind it. They do not only do so by supporting individuals like Wilmot Smith, who's grasping for political air. His latest report embarrassed the government, and he's looking for good graces and say, listen, I can push the case with this media house that is, seem to be attacking the government, and that will bring me back into the good graces of my bosses. But what you also have to see is that it comes in all forms. Attack on the media. Even when the power that be, the status quo, support other media entities so that it favors them, that is also an attack on free press, because then the press is now being influenced by things that they were getting from these sponsors. So it comes in many forms. And these things always happen in the political season, especially one that goes towards election. But like the CEO here, we are optimistic that the court will do the right thing. And we're looking forward to see what happens on Monday.
Thank you. Okay, Abdullah, we're just going to start with you. After you comment on this, go straight to your closing.
But that's it. That's the closing. That's the closing now. We got to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let him just run through it.
Yeah,
We'll
just
Mapper, we'll take 1 minute on our closing because of the show that is coming up, Late Night Politics. And so, Abdullah, I will give you the more than 1 minute for your comment on the PUL, and then you can go ahead with your closing right there.
yeah. So I read the PUS statement. I'm very impressed by their, robustness, the timeliness of the statement, the content, the way they structure their message. Very strong worded. I know for a fact that they spoke extensively with Councillor Lamin Pagwe in drafting that statement. So I'm not very surprised that it came out that very strong. But
you want to call Lamin Pagwe nigga? Abdullah, you know how to spell. They spoke extensively with Councillor Lamin Pagwe. He's one of the legal representatives.
So I say I know that the president of the press union.
No, I'm just asking you, is he one of the legal representatives?
I'm not sure whether he's one of the legal representatives of the PUL.
All right.
So I just wanted to say that I like the statement. There's a situation sometimes with government using individual to attack their perceived opponent. It's the same thing that happened with the journalist who's doing fast checking. Hosmo is a doctor, Beto Mbayo, having their time together, and Representative I think Marvin Cole, knowing that she's a fact checker, she's been checking facts, exposing people who lie from both sides, drag her and her husband to court. So it's a strategy of using private citizens to get at people, and then the government hands in the back and claiming to be, innocent and not involved in the situation. We can find solution to these things when we elect good leaders. Sometimes you flash something I was interested in, but I don't know why you just took it off.
Gibson, your closing.
Thank you very much. Let me just say, the brothers from the Spoon FM, I saw this morning when I went at the station, I saw two things: anger and readiness to fight. I think both are very good. Anger, because they did not expect this to happen to them. Ready to fight because they are journalists. We usually say in the media, I say the blood of one journalist is a germination point for 1,000 others. We journalists, we're not afraid. We have suffered persecution for a long time. And those guys, those folks at Spoon FM, they will withstand that. They understand that. They know the job they took. And they will not waver. They will fight all the way, no matter how it looks. No war against the media will succeed in this country. They have tried all sorts of things. And George Weah, he who claims that he has press freedom and he is behaving the way he is behaving, I believe this is a pseudo work of the government. I have no doubt about it. But this too will pass and Spoon will survive. We should not allow what happened to Roots FM to happen to Spoon. We should not allow
30 seconds.
We should not allow the government to plunder the opportunity to silence the media institution. I want to say, the brothers, be faithful, and we are in prayer with you. This too will pass.
Thank you.
Victory is assured.
What the man say? You will be in prayer with me. Come on, guys. Thank you, though. I'm not trying to.
Let
me close.
Let me hear Gibson small. Let me hear Gibson small.
You're not hungry. You're not hungry.
I come for eating and ran away.
Fatiga, I swear to say Gibson is a sedition. To be fair.
See, let me close. The man I'm referring to the CEO, man. He in prayer with many who jobs are risks.
I just messing with
many
Gibson.
who jobs are risks because of this potential closure.
Let's hear your closing.
Is a reason to inspire fear. So just
but Stanton, the people could have arrested you if you were there. You know that?
Yeah.
They could have done that.
They were going to.
But the document said it.
The document purposely said they should take hold of you. So, we pray for everybody.
Actually, they thought he was there.
Why were you mentioned in the whole rate? How did your name come out in it?
Yeah, let me close.
Oh, man.
Let my close.
Yeah. Hey, Nick came up because he don't want to know which district people get re-elected in. But let me tell you something.
You see, she said, I want to. When I tell her, you better go tell your Joe, we had to open the station, she will get back.
Yeah, that's a joke. But on a serious note, that's a big joke. But on a serious note, I would like for us to look at this situation as an example of the Liberia we do not want and see the need to vote the Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka come October 10. He's a leader of vision. He's a leader that will reconcile our country. He's a leader that will protect press freedom. He has been around many years in public service. He knows how important press freedom is to our democracy. This is why he was one of the first political leaders to respond to this travesty to press freedom today. This morning, he responded. He condemns it. He wants it to be treated as a legal matter. So this is the kind of leader that we need in our country. So this is another reminder that Liberia will be a better place, a safer place, a more free society under the able leadership of Ambassador Joseph Yima Boyka. So we'll remind our people, if you want to enjoy freedom of press, you want to enjoy transformation, then change the leadership to that of Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka comes October 10, 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mepe. And now I will see you sleeping. Wake up.
I got my puppet out. Got small eye. You can know that we're sleeping, but we're not sleeping. So I don't bring nothing to on. This time will be where I want.
You get be here with small eyebrow.
Small eyebrow. Because as soon as you do your other day, say sleeping.
Finish your closing because we got one of our candidates in the race for president. He beat rest in Kosu.
Oh, everybody hustling all kind of ways. Some people get broom, some people get hammer, some people get arty. The only thing here is the tree. Everybody want to be on this stream.
No, the other candidate beating rest in Kosu. Stanton get it. Stanton will put it up. The man beating rest in Kosu so he can be elected. Go ahead to your closing.
Look, right now where Spoon is, nobody can shut us down. They can close the radio station down. They cannot close Facebook. They cannot close Twitter. They cannot close YouTube. Look, I watch Spoon on YouTube. This is where I watch it when I'm home. So that when I'm not on and you guys are on, I watch it. Most people watch it on YouTube. They have the app there to watch it on YouTube. So the convenience and the way our reach to the Liberian people is too much. It's so huge that nobody can really close it down. I just feel sorry for this government. And we count their last days. We just got to be more forceful. They're trying to discourage us. We just got to be more forceful. I will make myself more available, like like Fagon, and we have to do this. People are listening. Honestly, if I go, you call me the other morning, 6 o'clock, I woke up. I go say, my man, I just say you go. I said no, I say I just been busy. But people call me every day when I look in my inbox. I know the impact we are having. We look, even though we have different views, and we come from different political lineage, but one thing remain clear: Joey has to go. When I listen to Abulai Amame, I listen to Gishin Jaru, I listen to everybody out here beside our Atlanta folks. They're the only people that are attacking the government. But besides that, the rest of us, the true opposition, we want to see this government removed from power, and we are all speaking against it. I know during the second round, all these guys will come home and something, but I don't think we're going to go second round.
Thank you. Thank you. I will not do a closing, so I will allow Stanton to do his closing. The only thing I want Stanton to do before he leaves will be to put a picture of our newest candidate beating Dumba in Kossuth. Go ahead, Stanton.
So, Fagon, before I do the closing, I think I would take my time to take a few calls. My phone been going crazy. A lot of people wanted to call, and I know we have them tonight also to call. Right now, I get Boyman Kamara. Mr. Kamara, like to
that's the guy I was going to call too.
All right. So, Mr. Kamara, you are live on Spoon, sir.
Thank you, Stanton, and greetings to all of the panelists, and greetings to our people back home in Liberia. I just want to join the voices of all other persons who've called on the government. Let freedom of expression reign in the nation unhindered. Let this be a council. The rule of the press, the rule of the media in any nation is established by God. And the scripture puts it this way, that in the house, there is this 4 rooms and guarded by 7 pillars. The 4 rooms that the scripture makes reference to is our established governance system, the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, and the media is the 4th in that house. Every nation has these 4 established structure. Don't go against what God has established. You cannot fight press. You cannot fight the media. It represents the voice of the voiceless. It represents the institution that will be bringing to the people what's happening across the established structure of government. Wherever that happens at the judiciary, the media talks about. Wherever that happens in the executive, the media plays that role of communicating to the people of that nation. Wherever that happens at the legislature, the media has that role established by God. Don't stand against what God has established. There is a history, and we all know how far we've come. All those who stood in the way of the press, ask them, where are they? The last time I checked, the press shall reign supreme. Don't stand in the way of what God has established. Thank you for giving me this time.
Thank you very much, my brother. We appreciate your input on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fagon, you were speaking.
Yeah, I'm waiting for your closing.
Exactly. Again, as I said, folks want to call, but I know it's 7 p.m. Because we'll be coming back, we'll take most of the phone calls later tonight. Okay, we'll be coming back with late night politics on Spoon. We will take your phone call. We'll put up the numbers You will hear from us. We will speak on the issue. And this is who we are. I want to be grateful, man. I really, I'm shocked, Fagon. I'm shocked because somebody says Spoon Network need to raise some money. What need to raise some money? I don't know. That's Madam Titi. You know, I don't get into the money thing. But I'm shocked today that so many people, Fagon, Fadika, they reach out. I didn't know the network was that love. A lot of them reach out, send good greetings, and we are blessed. We are blessed as a network. Like I always say, Brother Gibson, maybe you will know me better. I hold no malice. I hold no grudge. You can say what you want to say about being the next day. You myself can go to Wawa and drink coffee. People hold me. People say, why are you like that? Because this life is but a vapor. Why hate? Why hate? There's no need for us to sit down and hate. We should just speak truth to power because the government need to hear the truth. So we are blessed, and I'm blessed. I am grateful to everyone. I am grateful to everyone. It's the best thing to do. It's the right thing to do. We will stand tall. We'll be firm. We'll continue the good work the Lord has given unto us. He has trusted us with a very, very hard task. United will do this, and we'll do this fully. The network will be back on. Make no mistake, the network will be back on pretty soon. Everything is in place for the network to be back on. We have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have all the social media outlets. We'll continue to make the case for the Liberian people. I'm blessed, and you remain blessed. Till I meet you again, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, USA time, 1 a.m. Liberian time, just for us to have fun. We all will gather to talk about the goodness of Liberia. Please, I'm begging you, don't hate. This too shall pass. Don't hate. They want you to hate, don't hate. They want you to go crazy, don't go crazy. They want you on the street, don't go on the street. They want you to demonstrate, don't demonstrate. They want you to protest, don't protest. They want you to get out of character, remain in character. And this too shall pass. 9 p.m., my friend, you say 8. 9 p.m. Eastern time. In Texas will be 8. Correct. All depends your time zone. Have a good evening. Be blessed. Till we meet again tomorrow. Spoon Talk will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Liberian time. Again, God bless you. God keep you. Have a wonderful evening.
That's the best time to let you close when you're hungry. You don't stay long.
Man, I'm
Good
hungry,
night,
man.
folks. We'll be back shortly.